What's up, my ninjas? My name is Gabriela Corvina. I'm a martial artist and an actress, and this is my series, the Modern Day Hero series, where I talk to heroes not only on screen, but also in real life. And I have an awesome guest for you guys, the amazing...
My name is Hartshorn. I'm an artist, filmmaker, martial artist based out of New York City.
And we're actually at YouTube Studios New York right now, shooting this for you guys. It's going to be an awesome episode. Keep watching episode number 7. So, Philip.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what is everything that you do as an artist, because not only are you a martial artist, you're an actual artist, you're a traveler, you do fitness. What are all the things that you're into?
Well, primarily, I think just growing up, I always loved stories. A good story, telling stories, and later on in life, studying the heroic cycle, and I just really found it fascinating. So for me, it's just kind of wherever the stories take me. Drawing is where I started out as a kid, because I think it's such a natural place to go with your imagination as a child, right? Just kind of picturing images and kind of trying to recreate them from your mind, take it from your mind, and put it on the paper.
For sure.
And even when we were toddlers, me and my brother would just always had the camera rolling every day, filming, ridiculous movies and everything.
Yeah.
So from there, in high school, fooling around with my friends, I'm sure it's probably similar for you, right? Always trying to make fight scenes, just have fun. And I've just always had that passion.
Wow.
And, it's taken me with traveling. I was recently in the Shaolin Temple in China, training. And, even though it's not drawing, it's sort of the same thing. Like I kind of view my body as a paintbrush as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's just always been something there for me when you can kind of take the movements of your joints and express them into some sort of painting.
For sure. Absolutely.
And it's been fantastic. It's been a lot of fun. So just kind of enjoying
very multi-talented. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And as far as the martial arts, when did you start practicing martial arts, and what prompted you to get into martial arts?
Star Wars and The Princess Bride, probably. I love sword fighting.
I did not expect that.
Yeah, The Princess Bride is my favorite movie. And no, it's not The Princess Diaries. Relax, all right? There's one of the best sword fights ever in film history. Have you seen the movie?
I actually haven't.
This is criminal, so do that. But yeah, it's one of the best sword fights ever. And I was like, I just want a sword fight. And of course, Star Wars, Darth Vader's my hero. You probably think I'm a sociopath saying that, but yes, growing up. So I love sword fighting. And I got into fencing, believe it or not. It was my first martial art when I was about 9 years old, I believe. I did that for a few years. And it really helped me kind of get a lot of combat experience.
Yeah,
it's probably the most I've ever competed in martial arts, actually.
Wow, that's awesome.
Fencing, just duels over the years, competitions, and really helped me get over sort of the fear of, facing an opponent, and especially in fencing, it really hurts. It's a metal sword, slapping you. I did saber fencing, so it's just slashing. And it helps you get over that fear. I used to kind of retreat when I was a little 9-year-old, kind of frail boy. And then I kind of got over it and said, no, you have to, because I kept kind of going out of bounds in my first competition, just kept backing up.
Yeah. And
then, it kind of got me used to just, no, you have to move forward, you have to face your enemy head on. So it was a really great lesson.
That's really cool. Now, are you still fencing right now?
No, not anything like competition, but I do still train.
Just like practicing.
Absolutely, yeah, I still train. I've studied other, just sword play for fun over the years. And what I want to get into is actually HEMA, which is historical European martial arts.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of fencing without the rules as much. You kind of just, they're studying these old master's handbooks from like Italy thousands of years ago, or hundreds of years ago.
Ancient scrolls of the master.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? And they're kind of just like putting on gear and attacking each other with swords. So
that's awesome.
Seems like a lot of fun.
That's
but,
super cool.
You probably love it.
Yeah.
But, from there, I got into tricking, which is of course like the aesthetic blend of flips, spins, twists, and kicks. And I really love the sort of flashiness of that. And then later on in life, I discovered Wingchun, which is what Bruce Lee practiced, if you guys don't know. And it's the opposite. It's like, I have sort of the cool looking stuff. What if somebody tries to stab me in an alleyway? I want something that's just gritty, just for real stuff. So, but I love also the aesthetics, right? So you have the big stuff in tricking, and then Wingchun is very tight, it's very condensed.
And then you have some weaponry with the fencing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you're pretty versatile as far as the martial arts, especially on screen. How that goes,
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I just love any sort of movement. In China, I just studied 10 other martial arts as well. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So you've taken all of these things that you've done from childhood up to this point, and you've kind of put it on a platform, YouTube. And what was that like when you first started YouTube? Not necessarily trying to put it all together or, oh, I have this master plan, but what was it like? What was the first thought of, I'm going to try this. I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to start making videos. Did you have a plan? What were your first mental blocks? What were the difficulties starting out? What were you thinking?
Well, to begin with, I just said, I want to really help people feel better with my stories. I want to kind of make a difference and, help people out if they're feeling down, just give them entertainment or inspire people. So I said, let's do this. Let's make something happen. So I started uploading my videos, of course, to no audience. Okay, this is
interesting.
Yeah, nobody's seeing this. So, it's fun, but how do we do it? So I said, okay, let me give back. I think it's a good way to start growing. So I just put out tutorials. All right, spent my life
so funny that you said
acquiring a variety of strange skills. Random skills. Let me try and help people with these. So I started drawing tutorials, martial arts tutorials, everything from like how to eat better for fitness, because I have personal training certification, to training itself, to you name it. I did like 1 day a week, and then it helped me grow my audience. So I think the Wingchun stuff, the martial arts took off, the drawing, and of course now I can work on my bread and butter, which is like the fight scenes and the movies.
Absolutely. Now, really quick for you guys, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, I'd pay really close attention to this podcast, because that's what I'm really trying to cater these questions for you guys for, because Philip has seen a lot of success on YouTube. So really pay attention, guys, to these next few questions. But he just gave you a really good tidbit there. But it's cool that you said that, the whole tutorial thing, because that's literally how I started. Started not 2 years ago fully, about a year and like 8 months in.
Oh, okay.
A year and 8 months into YouTube. And actually, I didn't start on YouTube. I actually started on Instagram. So I started on YouTube probably a year and like 2 months ago then. But Instagram. I started on Instagram, and I started only posting self-defense videos. Right. So it's so crazy that you said that. And my thing was like, well, let me offer them something, and then maybe they'll want to watch me more.
Yeah,
so that's a really good tip for you guys.
Yeah, and I think for the people watching too, like, how does one gain trust from an audience? And we're giving free, like, really valuable information, and it kind of dispels a lot of the wariness. I think of like, what are they trying to get out of me?
Absolutely.
And it's just and then they've already taught me a lot. I feel like I'd love to give back to this person, watch their personal project, or just help them succeed. Yeah. And I think it's really important.
Absolutely. And Gary Vee, one of my inspirations, and somebody I look up to a lot. You've met Gary Vee?
Side story, yeah. Well, I filmed him, for a job in 2015.
Okay, hold up. You gotta tell the story, because I'm probably like one of the biggest, I'm gonna meet you one day, Gary Vee. I hope you watch this, because I talk about you in like every single one of my podcasts, because you're the best. But anyways, let me say my tidbit, and you're gonna tell me the story. So Gary Vee, he says, jab, 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 right hook. Right. So you have to give. And then when you do ask for something in return, it's not gonna feel like, hey, give me money. They're gonna feel like, hey, I know this person, I have a relationship with this person, and I feel almost obligated to give back to them because they've given me so much. And that's basically, his strategy that he's really actually put in a book, jab, 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 right hook. And he talks about it all the time. And if you're a YouTuber or somebody trying to get into social media or influencer, whatever it is, go find out who Gary Vee is. Anyways, tell me the story, because I need to hear this.
Well, another thing I do is I am a filmmaker. I get hired as a videographer, editor for a lot of jobs. So, good friend of mine and client of mine, Jimmy Hayes Nelson, has worked with Gary Vee quite a bit, and from those jobs, I shot Gary Vee in a couple of settings. One was him and Jimmy on stage, just like talking at a big event, and then they had like a private lunch where they answered questions from listening people, and I shot him. I didn't get to talk to him for 20 minutes or anything. I was there.
That's cool. That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm pretty jealous.
Definitely a cool guy. You guys should absolutely check him out.
Absolutely, yes. Because a lot of the things that I've applied in trying to grow my audience and meeting you guys and talking to you guys and this has come from him. So Gary Vee is the man. So how did you get into filmmaking, and what were some of the challenges that you first faced getting into that? Learning, trying to get equipment, you know, I know that you're a single filmmaker, so talk a little bit about the challenges that come with that.
Struggle, yeah, for sure. So how I got into it was, like I said, pure passion. And I think this is an important thing to note. This is gold right here. Is like I went to college for art and filmmaking essentially, and a lot of the time the classes are great, but it's very textbook science based. It's very standard, and nothing, just like martial arts, can substitute experience.
Absolutely.
You have to spar. You have to get out there and see if your skills work. You can't say, I hope it works. Hopefully when I get attacked, I've never done it.
Right.
I've read about it. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So college was great, but then after school, one of my first jobs in that industry was I was kind of like almost an apprentice to this filmmaker, and he taught me so much. Very severe, intense teacher.
Yeah.
Did not tolerate any mistakes, and that's how I learned.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's very important to remember that a lot of people equate filmmaking to just art, which it is, but there is an immense amount of science behind filmmaking. Like the rule of thirds, like you need the 180 rule. Like you can't just edit together a bunch of jumbled shots without having a plan. There are things that exist so it doesn't jar the audience. And if you don't know the science, you can't create the art. It's like if you don't have the right tool when you're drawing, you can't create art, right?
For sure.
It's incredibly important. So when I learned that stuff, I was able to, get out there, make my own films, start to experiment, start to get my own experience. And just from years of doing that and the jobs I told you about, like shooting Gary Vee, you pick up a lot of experience and a lot of tips. So then now when I make my own stuff, I'm completely confident in my skills as far as the science side.
Absolutely.
So I can let my ideas flow.
Yeah. So what about for the people who don't have resources and don't have mentors and don't have access to any of this stuff except for YouTube?
Well, that's what I was going to say. We have YouTube. We have the iPhone 11, which is ridiculous. It has 3 different lenses, 3 different sensors. It's absurd. And it's a phone. Even if you don't get that one, get an older phone. You have access to stuff that when we were growing up didn't exist. If it did, we would have been all over it. Right? We would have been so excited. So the fact that this is available is it's so amazing. It's such an opportunity, and don't take it for granted. The main point to take away from what I just said is experience. Grab your phone, go outside, start creating art, start experimenting, see what works, see what doesn't. And YouTube has tons of tutorials.
Yeah.
They may not be, expensive college course quality, all of them, but find the good ones. Ask people, I don't know, what's the best? Ask a professional, what's a good tutorial? There are ways you can absolutely get better and get to some sort of extremely good level, if not professional, from experience itself. So don't underestimate yourself. Get out there and shoot.
Absolutely. And what is it like being a single shooter? Because actually, I come from a very different experience.
Yes.
I actually started out wanting to try to shoot myself.
Really?
That was not going to happen. One, it wasn't going to go along the lines of what I wanted.
Yes.
And I knew, okay, if I want to do this the way that I want to do it, I need a team. So I immediately found my best friend Jay, helped me out.
Lovely people.
Literally met Alexis through actually training her. She's my photographer, also videographer. Jay's brothers helped me out, and that's my team.
Yeah.
And my brothers, my dad, et cetera, et cetera. So I kind of just rallied all of these people together to help me. So I don't really know the whole trying to shoot it myself, except for probably 3 videos.
Totally.
So what is it like doing that full time by yourself and struggles and things like that?
Surely there's struggles, but there's also advantages.
Absolutely.
So I started a few years ago when I started to get a lot of videography jobs. I kind of had this crossroads, and I said, well, I could go the route of let's start a production company. Let's have, I'm going to be the boss, and I'm going to send out, a bunch of editors, a bunch of people to shoot jobs. I'm going to run the whole operation. Then I said, I'm just not sure that's in line with my end game. So I said, let's just continue to be a one-man army here, and then work towards sort of a different goal of telling stories, using YouTube as a platform, like you said yesterday, to kind of just get to your end game, social media, and it's been interesting. Now, of course, the disadvantages are without a team, you can't just say rally the troops. We're going to shoot here at whatever date. But luckily, I have a lot of great friends who are martial artists, very passionate about also creating content. Like Spencer, Alex, if you guys have seen my stuff, amazing people, Frank, Juanito, and we just love making movies and doing content. So if you have friends that are available and want to also create content, help each other out. So we're always just kind of,
Absolutely.
you want a shot? Let's get one for you. Let's get one for me. So there are advantages to both. Yesterday was an amazing shoot with your team as well because it was very professional.
Mm-hmm.
So in my case, I've taught my friends like a lot of my trade and like how to shoot. So we kind of trade skills. If you will. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle at the same time. I'm at the point though where I need to hire an editor, like we were just talking about. Right? So I will do that.
Okay. And then for those who are once again just starting and don't have friends that are interested in the same things and don't have family members who have the time to help them and just can't seem to find help and are trying to do this by themselves, don't have resources, don't exactly know what to do yet. What advice would you give those guys?
I would say the most successful channel in the history of the world, Felix Schellberg, PewDiePie, 102 million now subs. He stands in front of his camera and does videos. So there's your answer. You don't need a team. You don't even need another human to hold the camera.
Absolutely.
And you can be the most successful YouTuber of all time, or any social media essentially. So don't be afraid to just start.
Absolutely.
I think it's a very Gary Vee type methodology too. It's
For sure.
kind of like ready, shoot, aim. Like don't just waste your time trying to be a perfectionist. Go, and you'll figure it out as you go. Get in front of your camera, do some martial arts, make a one-man movie where you set up the camera with a tripod.
Absolutely.
There are ways to do it.
And also, just chiming in here a little bit, be very clear about what you want. Why do you want to start YouTube? Why are you making these videos? Once again, like we were just saying, what is your end goal? If your end goal is to be, I want to be the biggest professional pillow fluffer on YouTube, then okay, so then you focus on that. But if it's bigger than that or smaller than that, whatever, make sure you're very clear about what you want and why you're doing it, because it does get hard and it does get tough. But if you love it, it's worth it. So just be really clear about where you want to go and why you're doing this. So you started out doing a ton of different things on YouTube, but you started going towards just martial arts, a little bit more that direction, correct?
Yes.
So how did you go about distinguishing yourself as a martial artist on YouTube, and what would you like for that to branch out into?
Absolutely. Well, I think the way I made my channel stand out or be different than a lot of the other stuff is it's essentially the idea of a lot of, and I don't want to throw any jabs here at other people, but it's gonna happen. I have a lot of enemies, but no, a lot of people on YouTube who are like kind of self-proclaimed masters, they tend to just say, this is how you do it. I'm the best. This is a very American mindset from my experience, especially after being in China. Kind of saw the other side. It's a lot more healthy, I think. But people kind of say, this is the only way to do it. I'm the best. This is how it works. And in my videos, it's just me and my friends who are always saying, I'm not a master. Get out there and try it yourself. Here's some fun ideas. I'm passionate about this. I'm just going to share with you what I've been doing. Give me tips. Let's all get better together.
Going off of that, I think that's the best way to go about it too. Because once again, any master is always a student.
Yes.
Always, forever, always. So, if they discover, there's a better way to do this, they're going to apply it. They're not going to be like, no, that's not the way to do it. It's only this way. So. Yeah,
and even my school, my Sifu in Wingchun Kung Fu, we don't even have ranking in our school. It's just, you just show up and train. Like nobody's good, nobody's bad. Like a new student can come in and knock out somebody, just show up in street clothes because like it's very street fighty. Like, you might get attacked in shoes like this on the street if you're ready to fight. So yeah, maybe it comes from that as well, but I will never call myself a master. I think it's ridiculous. And I have permission to teach from my master. I have, in the Shaolin Temple, they scored me above a 9 on my forms, which means I can teach those forms. But yeah, I have so much to learn. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Always a student.
Yeah, so I think it's that. I just have a different mindset with it maybe. And it's just more of we're concerned with positivity. We're trying to spread positivity. Not, unfortunately, a lot of people get into martial arts for the wrong reasons, I think. And we can talk about this more later if you want. Where very unhealthy, maybe for revenge, for bullying, something like that. And me and my friends, as you can kind of see from the spirit of our videos, that's what we're into: the spirit, the self development, the movement, the art of it. Not just the violence, not just anything like that. I mean, we're not cavemen.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I think that might be it. And even in my fight scenes, we usually try to have them be thought provoking. Not just violence for the sake of violence. In fact,
absolutely.
my one series, the whole point was just it's showing violence out of context to show how disturbing it is, like almost without a story. It's like, why are these people fighting? Like, it's very upsetting to see. So yeah, maybe that's it. We just have a different way of looking at it.
Very interesting. And what would you like for that mix of filmmaking, YouTube, and martial arts? What would you like for that to turn into? Would you just like to continue growing on YouTube? What is the end goal for you as far as this goes, this path?
Well, it's tough because both of us could say, right? We want to make movies, we want to create stories.
Absolutely.
What does that mean? It's kind of amorphous, isn't it? Like, does that mean we get a Netflix deal? Does that mean Hollywood, especially with the evolving scape of streaming and everything? It could be anything, any platform. But I think that's really it. I love to tell stories. I love to make people feel better, and as weird as it sounds, kind of like use my content as like healing for people. Even if it's not a funny video, it's thought provoking. Maybe it'll help you be more mindful. Maybe it'll help you grow somehow. And whether that's YouTube, whether it's Netflix, Hollywood, some new platform that appears, some new way of viewing stories, I don't know. In 10 years, that's really my goal, is to just keep exploring stories, enjoying them myself, whether that's drawing, filmmaking, anything, and just expressing. I have a lot in me that I want to say.
Yeah.
I have this sort of dream that I can't even really express what it is, but it's almost a feeling that I want to keep exploring.
Wow. So just creating.
Yeah, just creating and hopefully making some sort of difference.
And who is your biggest inspiration and why?
I love George Lucas, I would say, as a filmmaker. It's just, I love that he changed the entire, he had limited tools, he had limited funds.
Absolutely.
And he had a vision which could not be created, impossible. And he said, well, we're going to create tools to make this possible.
Because you guys don't know who that is, Star Wars.
It's the creator of Star Wars. And always been a great inspiration. I mentioned I loved the movie earlier, but absolutely wonderful. Everything from the examination, it's a very classical hero's journey, Star Wars. That's why I always loved it growing up. It's sort of almost like our modern heroic cycle, Star Wars. We don't have, we're not ancient Greeks with the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Argonautica, right? So we have this. And it just always inspired me, the simplicity of it, but the important message. So I'd say George Lucas is a great inspiration as far as the filmmaking goes. Absolutely. What about you? Who's your inspiration?
Oh man, my parents.
That's great.
My parents. I couldn't say anybody else besides my parents, to be honest. You just flipped that around on me. No, my parents. I do it for them, 100%. Everything I do, I want to give back to them and my family. So those are my inspirations. That's why I wake up every morning. So how long have you been working at this YouTube channel?
I started launching it as an actual channel in 2015, though I did have the advantage of starting with, I think, near 1,000 subs because I had just thrown up stuff, my fun fight scenes over the years since around 2007. But we launched. It was called, I think, Daily Philip in the beginning. We kind of tweaked it as we went. Because I had everything per day. Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
That's cool.
Yeah. So then, it evolved a little bit over time, and here we are.
Absolutely. And that goes to say, it's gonna take time, guys. It's gonna take
And what I said
time.
about just go, start,
and just start. Be consistent if you really want to do this. I know that the young generation, that's what they want to do. They want to be an influencer. They want to be a YouTuber. They
very glamorous.
But it's hard. It can get tough. That's speaking from a first world perspective, obviously. But you really have to love it because it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time and investing in it. So like Philip said, he started in 2015. So that's a good 4 years, almost 5 years now in. He's over 100K. That's amazing success. It takes time. Takes passion. And what advice would you give these same aspiring YouTubers as far as trying to build that career? So not going back into not the filming, but generally
social media
just
side.
the career?
I would say you need to be consistent. I mean, everybody says this, but it's a little bit more specific. You need to be consistent when you're failing over and over and over again. You need to say, like, this got 3 views, and I put a month of work into it.
Yeah.
Feels great, man. Let's go, and then do it again.
Yeah.
And just keep going. It's not something that happens overnight. The first 1,000 subscribers is really hard, though. It might be different for me because you had Instagram first, but like, it's a grind, man, and that's probably the hardest first 1,000.
Really, I'm glad that you pointed that out because it really is. The first 1,000 is, and don't look at the numbers.
Yeah.
Don't look at the numbers.
Yeah, look
because
at the
if you really
analytics,
love
but
this,
don't obsess over them.
Really love this. It's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
It's not gonna matter. Like he said, 3 views, awesome.
Cool.
Somebody watched
3 people watched it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Not 0.
If you can spread what you're trying to spread to your baby sister, your brother, whatever. If you really love this, it does not matter. It does not matter. It's good to have goals, but don't let that consume you because that's what stops everybody from creating because they'll look at that and be like, I suck, and they'll stop. Don't stop. Just do it because you love it.
Yeah, remember the reason you started in the first place.
Absolutely.
Me and my brother making movies when we were toddlers. That's why I still make movies, whatever that feeling is.
So actually, I want to touch back on that. Actually, so you had that feeling from a really young age. It's really interesting.
Essentially, since my inception, yes, I had it.
Wow. So, what was it like trying to make movies as a kid?
It was fun. That's all I remember. Yeah, we'd get toy swords out, smack each other, reenact our favorite scenes, tell ridiculous stories, draw all day. This is all I've ever done in my life. I'm just like a daydreamer who, once in a while snaps out of it and does something.
That's awesome.
And that's it. That's all I want to do. I don't know why. It's an obsession, but here we are.
Sure.
What about you? I feel like it's similar. You just love doing this, right? Why else would you be?
You're asking me questions now. Yes, it's very similar. So I started martial arts at 5, not really by choice because it was in my family. It's my family business. But it began being a choice. So of course your dad tells you, hey, you're gonna start doing class now. You're excited. I was excited. I was super excited. I wanted to be there. I loved being around my dad. I was like, yeah, I can finally learn how to kick and punch. But it wasn't. It was just something that was there. It was there. It was something. It was normal for me. The acting and filmmaking came later when I turned around 11. So about 11 years old. I used to watch movies with my dad all the time, scary movies particularly, and I didn't necessarily know that this was fake, necessarily. So I'd be like,
sounds
oh my
terrifying.
God, this is this, that, whatever, and my dad would be like, no, it's not real. It's okay. Yeah. This was when I'm younger, not when I was 11. I was a little bit more aware.
This
okay.
Was last year, yeah.
But no, I think I've always had that fascination with movies. And when I was a little bit younger, I used to love Selena Gomez. I saw that she was, I saw that she was on TV shows, and I just liked her. Yeah. And I was like, I want to try what she's doing. And so I got into acting classes, and Anyways, but yes, it did start at a young age for me. Moving on from me, what are your final question? What are your goals for the future?
Goals for the future. I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I just want to continue to explore movement, art itself, all of art, filmmaking, and just stories. That's what I love. I love, sort of giving people a reason to get up in the morning. Sometimes, like when I've been down, when maybe it's one of those 3 view scenarios where you feel a little, I put so much work into this. Right? Yeah. And then you'll get a message, and I know you experienced this, I'm sure. You'll get a message, like one that happened recently is my friend got a message from someone who watches my channel. It's like a roundabout way, and he told me about it. He said this guy messaged me and said that he was having really dark thoughts, really bad depression, and he said that he just, when he's feeling down, he goes to one of my videos and turns it on, And it just makes him feel much better to see that camaraderie with me and my friends. It gives him hope to be able to find friendships like that are meaningful, and it kind of gets him through the day. And all of a sudden, you're just like, let's keep going.
Let's go.
We're not stopping. We're not getting off this train until it gets where it's going, right? So I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna keep riding it.
This is really interesting. So no very clear end position.
No, like I said, I kind of just my whole life has been just kind of following my gut feeling, my
like
heart.
A gypsy.
Almost, yeah.
You travel. You do art. Kind of mysterious.
Enigma. Yeah, no, I just love it. I kind of just operate on feeling, and I want to do what's right always too. It's a big thing for me. I think it's important that everybody has a code and sticks to it. You know, it's very antiquated, but I mean, my saying on my stream on Twitch is "cowards die first." That sounds very kind of strange, but it's like, you know, you have to go, or you're kind of dying inside if you don't go for it. So yeah, just follow your dreams, guys. Whatever it is, even if it's a feeling, you can't really describe it, which is my case. Whatever we did last night, that was so much fun on the set, you know, just creating together.
Which you guys will see soon, or maybe you've already seen it.
True.
Whichever video I post first.
Let us know what you think. Yeah.
But absolutely. Well, Philip, this has been fun.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been super fun. I hope you guys got some value out of this. I kind of touch on a lot of the martial arts whenever I do these podcasts. But I wanted to do something a little bit different because of your success on YouTube and the fact that you're a martial artist too. But I thought, you know, there has to be, you know, martial artist YouTubers who are interested in that pathway as well, that are subscribed and are supporting me. So I thought, you know what, let's talk a little bit more about this side as a martial artist and a YouTuber and a filmmaker on what value we can give to them. So thank you for all those awesome tips.
Thank you. It's been amazing.
Where can we find you online?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, as we mentioned, and it's just my name, Philip Hartshorn, or the Phil Up, like up, UP. Instagram is the same. Twitch, we do streams. I do drawing streams, piano, you name it, play games. If you ever need anything, just ask away. I'm always glad to help.
Sweet. And go ahead and spell that out for us.
My name is Philip. The last name is Hartshorn. Hartshorn.
All right, guys. You know it. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Check it out. He has a lot of awesome martial arts content. And I know you ninjas would love that. So make sure you subscribe to him, support him, support his channel, support his filmmaking. Go to his Instagram, check him out, and continue to support this guy.
You're too kind, and obviously, Gabriella.
Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode number 7 of the Modern Day Hero series. See you later.
Take care.
Alright, my ninjas. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you check out this one over here. Also